I'm going to start this video off a little bit mysterious. I'm not going to tell you what we're going to do or why we're going to do it. Just follow along, okay? I'm just going to ask you a bunch of questions. All right, so they're fun questions. They're good questions. You'll like these questions. What is something that you are good at? Or what is something that you enjoy doing a lot? I mean, you enjoy it a lot. You don't necessarily need to do it a lot, but something you really enjoy or something you're really good at. Okay? Now, think of a time when you were doing that something that you were good at, or that's something that you enjoyed. And it can be recent, or it can be a long time ago. It doesn't need to be the best time ever, though if you can remember that now, that's great. But otherwise, just any time that you were doing something that you really enjoy or something that you're really good at, or a combination of both, because that also exists. Often they're linked, but it doesn't need to be linked. So think about that. What did that feel like? Go back there, see what you saw, hear what you heard. What was happening around you back then? Were you alone? Were there other people there? What was happening that you were enjoying? And remember how that felt. Okay, so you probably felt very natural doing that thing that you were good at or that you were enjoying. And big question for you, what if social ease is actually your natural state of being? And what if social anxiety is simply you being triggered away from that natural state? That's what it is. That's what my experience of it is. That is what my clients report. Okay? So we tend to build up social ease as this big thing that we're going to accomplish one day, and I talk about social confidence, and that's mostly for marketing purposes, because what it really is isn't confidence per se, though you definitely can feel confident. But I can also not feel very confident and yet be at ease, right? So it's not confidence, but confidence sounds very interesting to you if you have social anxiety. Social ease, it's less of a powerful word. That's why I use social confidence. It's a real pool. I always wanted to be confident, right? But it's social ease what you're actually after. And what if that is actually your natural state? And when you're experiencing social anxiety, you're not in your natural state, you're in your survival state. You're busy trying to avoid certain things from happening, getting rejected, looking stupid, embarrassing yourself even further. Your system in that moment is like, oh my God, there's a threat here. And often it is like, this situation is just like this earlier one that I experienced. So run, or fight, or freeze if you can't do either. So you're not in your natural state there. And so the journey to social confidence, journey to social ease, journey to effortless social ease, is a journey of coming back to who you are at your most natural core. You are not going to turn into someone else. Often people think, well, I'm just not extroverted. I have to be extroverted. I have to become an extroverted person. No, you don't. If you're naturally more introverted, you can just become a comfortable and at ease introvert socially. You do not need to talk as much as extroverts do. It's about becoming your most authentic, truest self. who you are naturally. And that is effortless. That's why I had you think about that thing earlier. Okay, when you were enjoying that particular thing and you were in the flow, what did that feel like? Because when I'm in a social situation, it's nothing special. Nothing changes internally. Well, I shouldn't say nothing, but like right now I'm recording this video to you, and that feels to me pretty much very similar as having a conversation with someone. You know, right now it's maybe a little bit more pressure because I gotta really focus and direct my conversation, and I gotta make sure that I get my point across, and I'm trying to teach. So there's a bit more in there. You know, socializing is much more effortless. You know, so there's a little bit of that, but I'm still in my natural state here. You know, nothing of this is rehearsed. This is all shot in one go. I do make videos where I do write out the script because I want to communicate something succinctly. But here I'm just shooting from the hip, yeah? I'm just like, this comes in, you know, and it comes out of my mouth. And here it is. And it's just a natural process. That's why you don't see me teaching so often social skills, because when you feel safe being your true self, and you feel safe saying whatever comes to mind, and you trust that you can handle whatever comes your way, whatever happens, and you're okay with whatever happens, and you're okay with who you are, you like yourself, you respect yourself, you're good with you, you know, hey, I'm good company, I'm worthy of being a friend, then you're gonna anticipate that of other people too, and then it's just natural, it's effortless, it's flowing. And often when I ask people, okay, can you think of a person that you feel comfortable with? Or can you think of a time in your life where you had a particular person that you were comfortable with? Sometimes people say, oh yeah, my spouse, or my best friend from way back when, or my kid, or, you know, not everyone has that, however. So I'm a bit cautious to use that as an example, but quite a few people have that. And then they say, yeah, well, when I'm with my kid, I feel totally present in the moment and I'm at ease. I'm like, Or someone says, yeah, when I'm with my partner that I've been with for the longest time, who supports me, who knows everything about me, who knows about my social anxiety, who's been with me through thick or thin. Yeah, I feel totally comfortable and at ease with that person. I'm like, okay, you've got social confidence there. You're totally at ease there. You feel accepted there. You can say whatever comes to mind there. That's social ease, okay? So you don't get triggered out of the present moment with your partner or with your kid or with your best friend. So social ease is that with other people and other situations. And you might have that with certain people and then not with other people initially. So for example, this is also the experience for quite a few people who do not have generalized social anxiety disorder. When you have generalized social anxiety, it's like with all people all the time, whether that's at the checkout counter, dealing with someone, or with your best friend. Okay, so that's a different story. By the way, you can overcome that completely too. I had that, many of my clients had. I think in our Social Confidence Club, the majority deals with that. The vast majority deals with that. But there are also people who have it not generalized. So it's more specific. So like, well, when I'm in a performance situation, then I experience it. Or when meeting strangers, then I experience it. Or with people in authority, then I experience it. But actually when I'm with my close friends, it's not there. So when you're with your close friends, it's not there. If this is you, if this speaks to you, but it does show up when you're with your employer, hate the word boss, you know, the one who pays you money for the task that you do, and there's something with authority there, then in those moments, you get triggered out of the present moment, you get triggered out of your natural state, and actually you revert back to the past, likely to developmental trauma or some specific shock trauma, and your brain then causes you to perceive that situation from the eyes of the little you. And you're actually regressing in time. Say that you had, so let's keep the example of the boss, the employer. As soon as your employer comes in, boom, anxiety starts, or anxiety's through the roof. Okay, what does that tell you? Something gets triggered. It's not the boss who's the trigger. The boss is the cue for something that gets triggered inside. What gets triggered inside is an unprocessed memory and or negative fantasy. He's gonna reject me, or he's gonna fire me, or think less of me, or not like me, or that's then gonna cause problems for me, or whatever. You might have beliefs. So I'm less than him. He's better than me. He's the boss of me. He controls me. He can do all of these things and I'm helpless, whatever. So your belief system, your fantasies and memories, that's what gets activated inside and it triggers you out of the present moment. It gets you away from your natural state. Now, if you're already comfortable with your close friends, but you get triggered with your employer, and say when meeting strangers, then you can just work on that situation with your employer and work through all of the layers that cause you to get triggered out of the present moment. So there might be a memory with, there might be a bunch of memories with your dad, for example. That's a common link. You might have had a domineering dad, or a critical dad, or a dad with high expectations, or a very strict dad, and your employer might remind you of that. So you need to address. Well, then one way of addressing it, because there are many ways to resolve social anxiety. One way of addressing it is working through the specific memories that come up, and then neutralizing those. And then working through the negative fantasies, and then working through your belief system until you can go into that situation, your employer walks in, and you're comfortable and you're at ease and you can remain in the present as well. Now you've mastered that situation. Or in other words, you have returned to your natural state in that particular situation. Great, then you can move on to meeting strangers and feeling comfortable there, and so on and so forth. And so then you can expand your comfort zone, because you do most of this healing. You actually do it from the comfort of your own home. Yes, you can use the tapping in the present. Yes, you can go to the toilet to tap. Yeah, but a lot of the deepest stuff, most often, is actually done in your comfy chair, sitting at home, doing your tapping, bringing to mind things that bother you, and then tapping in particular ways to shift and change that, neutralizing your emotional reactions to it, and neutralizing the associated beliefs and fantasies that come up. So you are returning to your natural state. The journey from social anxiety to social confidence is a journey of getting back to your natural state, your most authentic self. You're not going to change it to someone else. You're just going to become your most natural, authentic self. Hope this helped you. Sebastian from SocialAnxietySolutions.com. Talk to you very soon. Bye for now.